Alright, well, I'm sure I'm going to leave some stuff out here. This is just off the cuff. Perhaps I should wait until I have all the information really settled in my mind to make this some sort of artistic, poetic recap of what happened. As many of you know, a woman came to see me to spend a few nights here. Well, what was supposed to be 4 nights, actually. I knew that was a bad idea anyway, the 4 nights thing. Tried to go for 3, but she made me feel like if I didn't agree to 4, it must mean I don't like her, kind of thing. Basically, this is a woman that I met on a website that does not need to be named, and and she love bombed me from the beginning. Excessive love bombing, right? Maybe that's redundant for someone you just started talking to, using extremely lovey-dovey language. I mean, actually saying I love you and telling me, just flattery. It's red flags all the way down. And things were dramatic even in the short time we knew each other in text before meeting. She would go from being obsessed with me to not giving a shit. At one point, she blocked me and, was done with me. Anyway, she ended up coming here, and she came here with her daughter. Because when I give some of the details about things in her life or things she did or said, I can only go off of what she said, right? So she claimed that she was on some work trip, and she basically, right after doing the whole blocking thing and being done with me, and we were able to make up, she basically made it like, well, she could come see me now. She'll come see me, but that I have to, accept that her daughter is coming too, because blah, 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 blah. I'm boring myself, people. I'm trying to provide context. And this video, I don't know what the point of it is anyway, other than I want to keep you guys, or at least some of you in the loop who wanted to know basically what happened. And so they fly in, and everything seems okay. In a lot of ways, I wasn't really attracted to her personality. I just didn't find it relatable. But she grabbed my hand, held my hand. So, seemingly she was into me, you would think. But she has a very odd relationship with her child. And it already was clear that she was like doing this thing where she's, even though she's there to see me, she kind of has these. She goes off into her own little world with her daughter there, and it's like this is weird. What's going on? Not that she shouldn't give her daughter attention, only that. Well, we'll skip ahead. Basically, there was one point where she was in the bed with her daughter, and it was kind of like, well, what is going on here? Like, am I supposed to go hang out in the kitchen while you guys are doing that? Or the very first day, she came in late at night on Thursday. The very first day we actually had time to spend together, because she went to bed pretty much immediately after getting back to my house, which makes sense. She had a long day of travel. But she was on her phone like the whole morning, claiming she was doing work, which I don't quite believe. And then she was openly just texting her daughter, playing phone games with her daughter. This is our very first day together, and she's sitting in the bed, not interacting with me, and on her phone. At one point, actually, I I locked myself out of the bathroom, Had to call a locksmith. Just a random side bit here. Let's get to the point. I actually want to keep this video at 10 minutes. So, things eventually, though, got more fun. The kissing, some touching. She was doing some of her love bombing type language. She was so glad I came to see her, asking me if I was glad she was there. She was someone who she lacked just basic manners in a lot of ways. Just loud burping from the start. I remember some odd moment in my car, which seems minor, but it just felt off. I had my gum and in the front seat, and I don't care, of course, yeah, help yourself, yeah. But she didn't ask, which is a little bit, maybe you would think you would ask, but it's cool, right? We're being intimate, right? Just take my stuff. But she gave some to her daughter, and her daughter thanked her, and she said, "You're welcome." It was just strange. You're stealing my gum and giving it to your child, and saying you're welcome. You're welcome, sweetie. Of course I'll give you this man's. I shouldn't even bring up these little nitpicky things, because the real sort of nightmare of the situation is much more serious than me nitpicking at her sort of odd relationship with her child and her just minor signs of lacking manners. But yesterday we were getting along, having a lot of fun, kind of all over each other, and she wanted me to get her a bottle of wine, so I did. She drank it. She wanted more wine, so I got her more wine. And I'm a fucking idiot. Sometimes I don't even know. I guess I just already figured she was an alcoholic and that she could handle it, and I guess I just wasn't thinking. And but she eventually, things got weird when she was back to the thing where she kind of wasn't really paying attention to me, and I was quote unquote pouting or whatever. Basically just kind of maybe looking a little bit disgruntled, as she was her attention was focused elsewhere or whatever. And somehow it ended up in this thing where she wanted me to be in the kitchen with her. I wanted her to be in the bedroom with me, and we couldn't. She wouldn't come to me, I wouldn't come to her. Eventually I did go to her, but it was just this weird energy, and I couldn't stand the music she was listening to. Oh, this is going to go over 10 minutes. It's really hard to set the scene. She just, after all this lovey-dovey stuff where we couldn't keep our hands off of each other, she was essentially causing drama over nothing. She was mad that I was being pouty or something. And I did whatever I could to just say, "Oh, come on, like let's just come to the bedroom, let's just we'll snuggle and watch Netflix or something." Oh no, she wants me to come in there. And even when I came in there was no real conversation happening, and just like people in the past, she's on her phone the whole time, almost certainly, and I pretty much even saw she's probably texting other guys or whatever. Meanwhile, she was earlier she'd been posting Snapchats, posting on Snapchat on her Snap story. I'm like, who are you trying to make jealous? Like, snaps of us and whatever. And I hadn't even looked at her Snapchat until later on, when I looked and saw that she was also posting sexy pictures, like in my bathroom, like basically just of her chest, not naked, but just the picture didn't even have her face in it, just basically her tits. And then one of like her stomach, her body, and different sexy selfies, making the duck face kind of look. She even told me at one point that she has or had a Facebook with tons of followers, thousands and thousands of followers, and that it was a thirst trap. And I was like, thirst trap? To what end? Like what? Like do you do OnlyFans? Oh no, no. Like so, what's the point? Like, and there was no point according to her, right? It's just attention starved, perhaps. But like I said, when you deal with some of these people, which we'll soon get to, you don't know what's true. Once you find out someone's a liar, you never know what's true. And that's one of the many problems with dealing with liars, and why lying is so bad is that you never again can trust them. Not to say that someone can't slip up once or twice. Now that still makes it hard to build back the trust. But once it's really established that someone will not just do one mistake lie, or make the mistake of telling a lie, but they'll hold on to it and carry it on and on and on, and then you just realize you're dealing with a liar, and you can never trust anything they say or anything they have said. But like I said, I'm leaving out some of the details that maybe I'll get into at some point. I'm not sure how much they matter. Let's just skip ahead to the real drama. The real drama occurs when she finally says, she's going to go get Taco Bell. And she's no longer mad. Suddenly she's no longer mad. We can make this work. We can get along. She's just going to get Taco Bell and come back and cuddle with me. So how is she getting Taco Bell? She's ordering a Lyft. Now, we all know these days that there are multiple ways to get food delivered to you, which would be cheaper than having the Lyft take you to Taco Bell and take you back. I could also get her Taco Bell. I have a car. And the whole thing was just odd timing. But what can you do? This was a woman who clearly did whatever she wanted when she wanted, and I was kind of accepting that, going with it, catering to her in a variety of ways, just fetching her things, when she wanted something. Simping, all out simping. And as time goes on with this Taco Bell run, it becomes obvious she's not at Taco Bell. So I start texting her, and she claims that the Lyft had a flat tire, and that she's waiting on that to get fixed. And at first, it seemed like maybe this could be plausible. And she sends a picture that clearly looks fake. It was cropped funny. It was small. It didn't make sense. Her phone wouldn't take a picture this lacking in clarity, and the picture size, the whole thing didn't make sense. Something seemed fake about it. And her own daughter said that she got the same pic from her mom. And the daughter said to me, this is kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but her daughter, who she left at the house with me, 12-year-old daughter, said that her mom does this a lot. She'll vanish for 8 hours at a time. Basically telling me that her mom is dishonest and unreliable. Anyway, 1 hour turns into 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, she was gone for a total of about probably 8 hours. It was like 7 or 8 that she left. And she even called me at one point, like 4 or 5 hours in, to have some woman pretend that she was the Lyft driver and that they were like I'm supposed to believe that she was sitting in a Lyft 5 minutes from my house, not asking me to come get her, but sitting in a Lyft car for hours and hours waiting on a tire to be replaced. Meanwhile, she wouldn't answer phone calls. She easily could have FaceTimed to show me if any of this was true, which of course we know it's not. There's a million things she could have done, but who knows what she was up to. Her daughter said, oh, she probably is at a bar somewhere. Her 12-year-old daughter says, so she's probably at a bar somewhere. So her daughter's used to these shenanigans. And so I don't know, actually, if she was at a bar, if she was doing drugs, if she met up with some guy. I'm sure she did meet up with some guy. I don't know what the context was, but it was all very bizarre. And so yeah, she disappeared and left me with her child for 8 hours. So at 3 something in the morning, doorbell rings, knock at the door. I look out, there's a man and her. Yep, I say, I'm not opening this door for a man at 3 in the morning. Man that I don't know. So he goes back into the car. I open the door. She's clearly fucked up. I don't know if it's drugs or alcohol, whatever it is. And yeah, just in denial, trying to act like I'm the bad guy. Luckily, I'd already packed all her things, so it was quick to be able to get her things and get out of here. And yeah, it just reminded me so much of my ex. Just the lies, the sketchy behavior, the clear recognition that comes over you when you realize you're dealing with someone who doesn't care about the truth. You're not even sure if they even know the truth necessarily, because they live in an irrational world of some sort of sociopathy or whatever the fuck it is. Addiction, all the rest. Mental illness. And that there's nothing you can say that'll cause them to acknowledge the truth, that'll get them to tell you the truth, or that'll get them to have any sort of compassion for the way their behavior is affecting you. But basically, yes, they left. They left and got in the car with this guy. She starts texting me all this stuff saying, I don't know who I was messing with. She knows. She called so-and-so from Virgin Records and they sent a car. She was waiting on the car they were sending because I'm a psycho because I blew up her phone while she was at Taco Bell. Right? Yeah, I'm the psycho because I blew up her phone while she was at Taco Bell for 8 hours. And even this morning, she was still texting me, saying that I'm mean. Then she was calling me, and I wasn't going to pick up, but then I did. She asked me if I packed her meds, which I did. I packed all her shit. And she only has 2 bags, so she should be able to find it. And I say, yeah, don't call me again. Hang up. She calls like 5 times. Haven't answered. She might be calling right now for all I know. But my phone is on Do Not Disturb for now. And it was all just crazy. I mean, little things like one thing I'm remembering now that I'm leaving out is she mentioned that her daughter knew people that lived in Orlando and that they might come pick up her daughter for a couple of days, and wouldn't it be nice we could have some privacy? Which, yeah, it would be nice. And I texted her one point when her and her daughter were in the bed together as I was frantically trying to open the bathroom door that I locked myself out of. I was texting her like, so what's going on with this Orlando situation? Is she, did you contact them, or is she going, And she says to me, you don't want her here? And that's that's some of the more like creepy, just subtle gaslighting behavior, where it's like she suggests that what a great idea it will be to get the daughter away for a while so we can have some alone time. And then when you ask her for an update on it, you don't want her here? You don't love my daughter? Like, insert creepy music. This will be an editing note for myself. Insert creepy music here. And there was just a lot of that stuff. Even when there was the little whatever drama happened before the Taco Bell run, it was just total irrational. You're mean. You're being mean to me. And there's nothing you can do. There's no amount of being docile and trying to solve the problem that changes anything, because you're in manipulation world now. So this video is approaching 20 minutes, and there are more details. That's the gist. Maybe I'll talk more about it in a live stream. Maybe I'll get on later tonight. We'll see. And maybe I'll make another video at some point with something more poetic about this, about lessons learned and life goes on and all that. And I do feel okay. I feel like I dodged a bullet, and I hope that I did. That's yet to be seen, I suppose, but let's hope that the worst is in the past and that life goes on.